Alright boys, welcome back, and today we're going to be doing a UFC fighter tier list ranking. I did a YouTube boxer tier list ranking, so the next step was UFC fighters. This could be an upgrade, downgrade, whatever it tickles your fancy, really. Yeah, let's get right into this, but first, I got the Prime Energy Hydration Can Drink, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and I'm going to be doing a review of that on my main channel, so look out for that. Back to the tier list anyways. So this guy put every single fighter on the roster on this thing, so I'm not going to do all of them. I'm just going to do the main guys, really. So, first we're going to start with Dustin Poirier, and I'm going to put him in A+, because I don't think he could go into S tier, because he hasn't won the title. He had his career was a real late bloomer, I feel. He is a sick fighter, but I just think S tier, you either have to be completely iconic to the sport, or either like an actual champion. I know he was interim champion, but you know, interim champions like those belts are kind of bullshit anyways. But anyways, Robbie Lawler, I put him into A tier, just below Dustin Poirier. Maybe you might think he's an A+, but I would generally think he's A tier. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he defended the title maybe 2 or 3 times, something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but then Tyron Woodley knocked his ass clean out, and He was fighting a good bit, a decent bit before I actually got into the sport and stuff. But I have watched those fights and stuff. He is a good fighter, but just don't think he's A+. Even I could even be putting him into B. No, I wouldn't put him into B. That's a bit far. But definitely A tier. Would I put into her? She was iconic for a time. I put her into S tier because I don't know what other female fighter I would put into S tier, but I think she does deserve an S tier, even though. Yeah, no, she definitely does deserve S tier. I'll give her S tier. Tony Ferguson, was he ever? He was interim champion, so I guess I have to put him into A+ as well because of Dustin Poirier. Yeah, he's definitely not an S tier fighter. I don't think anyone would put him in S tier, especially how he's going out. You know, he's kind of turning into Donald Cerrone, it seems like. Okay, Cody Garbrandt. See, if this was when he just became champion, he could have actually just been in an A+, but the way he went out as champion, I don't think he ever defended the belt. That performance against Dominic Cruz was unbelievable. But then he really fell off. So I'm going to have to put him into B tier, because he is a good fighter. Well, back in his day he was. He's really not the same guy. Yeah, I'd have to put him into B tier, honestly. Justin Gaethje, probably A tier. Was he ever interim champion? He was interim champion too. I guess he has to go into A+. If we're going by A+, but he'd be above Tony. I'd put Tony in A, actually, to be honest. Yeah, he was interim champion, but he's not that great. Even when he was at his peak, he was just tough as fucking nails, and he would bring you into deep wars. He wasn't like an amazing fighter. But next one, we have to go CM Punk. He's either S tier or F tier, and I'm putting him into S tier. CM Punk, loved him in WWE. He was sick in WWE, but UFC is just not for him. My God, who was this? That first guy he fought in his debut, my God, he upended him. And then the second guy, I think he got fired, the second guy, because he should have knocked him out, but the fella felt so bad for him that he didn't. And I think he got fired for that. But anyways, Jorge Masvidal, I'd have to put him into B. He's a good fighter, but he really is a journeyman, like, because he has literally about 20 losses or some shit. So you cannot say he's like a top echelon fighter. His career was so, like, whatchamacallit, it was a real late bloomer. Like, he was about 35 till he got some steam going. His noble wins like Ben Askren, but he was coming off a hip fucking replacement surgery, so he wasn't at, like, that wasn't peak Ben Askren either, where he was like fucking wrestle fucking everyone. But and then Nate Diaz isn't the best either. And he hasn't won since Nate Diaz, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's true. And he just got creamed by fucking Kamaru Usman, so I think B is very respectable, but I put him below Cody Garbrandt. Because the only belt he's won is that BMF one, and that's barely even a belt. Zabit, whatever his name is, I'll put him into C, even though he's a sick fighter. But I swear, before he really did anything, he got like something wrong with his heart or something. That's why he's gone. I'm not 100% sure. Jose Aldo, I'd actually put him into S tier, because he actually obliterated that featherweight division for a time until Conor McGregor took his soul. But even he didn't even take his soul. He was still kind of sick after it. I know he lost, but, like, you know, yeah. Robert Whittaker, I'd put him into A+ and probably above the two of them. Yeah. He's a good fighter, let's put it like that. He can be boring as fuck. His press conferences are awful. I like someone who talks. Like, he's not a guy who's going to talk shit, like, but I like when they talk shit. Stipe Miocic, I'd probably have to put him into S tier because of, like, his heavyweight reign and shit. But, yeah, he's not my favorite fighter either. I find it very hard to understand what he's saying. Ben Askren, UFC Ben Askren has to go into F tier. The only win he got was Robbie Lawler, and that was such a controversial fucking win itself anyways. So I think F is very fucking fair. DC, S, I'd put him into S tier below Miocic, because to be fair, the only people that's ever beaten him is John Jones, who's just a GOAT anyways, and then Miocic, who's a heavy, but he knocked him out too, so, like, you know, you have to put him into S tier because he's better than A+. Frankie Edgar, see, I'm just gonna put him into B tier because he was good before I actually watched him. So maybe my opinion is kind of blindsided by, because I wasn't there when he was being sick and shit. Aljamain Sterling, I'd probably, it's either A or A+, and I'm probably gonna go A because I do think people can beat him. So yeah, who's this? Is this Colby? I think Colby is sick, but I don't think he's I put him into A, but I'm going to look back at this list and I might change some shit. Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley's a hard one. Back in the day, Tyron Woodley was fucking sick. Those two Stephen Wonderboy Thompson fights. Well, no, the second one wasn't that good, but the first one was fucking sick. But Jake Paul really fucking tarnished his name, man. I swear. So I got to put him in A, because I always did think Colby was better than him anyways. Khabib, he has to be an S tier, really. He just does. Henry Cejudo, yeah, S tier too, man. He's just a winner, you know. Israel Adesanya, he's just lost against what his name? I think he's fighting him next month. I think he's gonna lose again. I think that guy just has his number. Like, is it harsh putting him into A+? I'll just put him into S tier, but I'm gonna look back at this crap. And I'll move some stuff around. I have too many fighters in S tier, and I don't like how many. S tier is for the upper echelon of fighters. Conor McGregor, he has to be in S tier. I know he's not the best, especially now. He's not the best fighter, but back in the day, featherweight Conor McGregor, my god. And, like, if he wasn't here, UFC just wouldn't be where it is today. You know, so you have to give him some, like, respect with that. And he's Irish, I'm Irish, so, like, he was always going to be going to fucking S tier. Francis Ngannou, I put A+, even though he was champion and stuff. If he only defended against Cyril Gane, who was, like, the most incomplete fighter. I know his striking's sick, but bar that, like, you know, he's not amazing. Like, if he fought John Jones, I think John Jones would have fucked him up. Like, John Jones, obviously S tier, everyone fucking knows that. Sean O'Malley, I think he's fucking sick. His striking is so sick to watch. Like, I'd say he's one of the best strikers in the UFC. Like, I'll put him in A tier though, because his Peter Yan fight, like, that could have went the other way, you know. Anderson Silva, that's a big S tier, I'd put him just above Jose Aldo. Darren Till, I'm have to put him in D tier. Nah, D tier is quite harsh. I'll put him into B tier where Jorge Masvidal. I feel that's very reasonable, especially what happened to him. Like, the guy's not even in the UFC anymore. My god, he fell off so fucking hard. Yeah, you have to feel bad for the guy. TJ Dillashaw, he would be an A+, S tier type of ranking, but, like, the guy did fucking cheat, and now I don't know. I think I read somewhere that he cheated versus Colby as well. So I'm gonna put him at the bottom of A tier just because of that. And I think he's retired now too, if I'm not mistaken. Dominic Cruz, big S tier, and I'd probably put him just above Joanna. He was sick. I love the way he fights too. For Alistair Overeem, I'd probably put him into F tier. The guy's just a fucking cheater, man. Like, fucking, the fella's was in glory for God knows how long, but he's already been caught cheating, like, you know, and it was pretty obvious. Like, if you look at the pictures of him just before he left the UFC and now, the fella had like fuck all muscle. Well, he obviously had muscle, but like when he was on the juice, he was ripped, and then when he got off it while he was in the UFC, he kind of became all flabby, and then as soon as he left the UFC to Glory, he became fucking ripped again. So it was kind of fucking obvious, you know. I think this is Kamaru Usman, so I gotta put him into S tier because the way he just demolished that welterweight division, above Israel, obviously. But yeah, he demolished that. If you break down his opponents, you can kind of break it, like, because he fought a good few people like twice and shit, you know. Okay, is there anyone else we're gonna put in here? Derek Lewis, I'm gonna put him into A plus just because I find him very funny. He's not an A plus fighter though, but he is jokes, especially like his Instagram and shit. He just posts whatever he feels like posting, you know. There's no Leon Edwards on this, unfortunately, unless this is him. All right, we're gonna call this Leon Edwards, and we're gonna put him into A plus, and we're gonna put him above Justin Gaethje and Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis is gonna go to the bottom, but we're gonna put him above Justin Gaethje. Would he be? I think he's a more complete. No, actually, no. Is he more complete than Dustin Poirier? Yeah, he is. Yeah. So I'm gonna put him there, not S tier, because I think that's way too fucking generous. You know, he's only beat him just there. But yeah, like he could generally be like one of the best fighters who came out of the UK. Like I can't think. Oh, Max Holloway. Okay, he's probably gonna have to go into S tier too. Okay, I've done everyone, and we're gonna review the list because I have way too many people in S tier, and they gotta move. They gotta go. I'm sorry, CM Punk. There's too many people. He's gotta go into F tier. And you know what? I'll put Overeem into D tier because there were some fights where he wasn't on the juice, and he still did decent. You know, he became a pussy when he became off the juice though. But he's going into D tier because he's just a big cheater. You know. Okay, B tier. I don't think I'd move anyone out of B tier. No, I wouldn't move anyone out of B tier. A tier. Who would I move? Would anyone move up or down here? I think I might just move him down to B tier because if Garbrandt is in there, I think TJ has to do, because TJ, I'm nearly convinced he was cheating against him. I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere, and even if I didn't read it somewhere, he still probably could have cheated. And him beating Garbrandt, I don't think he ever got over that. A tier, would anyone be moving up? No. Okay, who would I move down from here? I got way too many people in here. S tier is for the greatest fighters. Those two solidified. Jose Aldo pretty solidified. I'd move Kamaru Usman down, even though I probably, yeah, well, if he's moved down, fucking Adesanya gotta move down too. These are like the GOATs, or they were like the greatest in their division, or they've done something crazy like Conor McGregor. Like he's obviously gonna be an S tier. Max Holloway, he's gotta move down too. I think Jose Aldo still just owns that division. I would keep Khabib in there. But he left way too fucking early. I wish he stayed for a bit longer because it's kind of hard to know how good he could have been. DC, I'll move him down, but A plus. I'll probably move Gaethje down to A2. Derek Lewis, yeah, he got to move. I'll put him into B. So this is the actual ranking. I don't think I'd move anyone around from now. Yeah, so this would be my UFC ranking. I know everyone's gonna talk shit about me this whole thing because fighting's that one thing that everyone has an opinion on, and fair enough. I'm open for people's opinions. You can call me a pussy, call me a dickhead. I'm open for it. I'm all ears. But yeah,